We have my colleague Nikhil joining us, and we're going to go to him in just a second. We also want to welcome to the broadcast a very renowned journalist and award-winning journalist, columnist, and political commentator Neerja Chowdhury, who also joins us. Ma'am, thank you so much for speaking to us and joining us. But before we come to you, we're just going to quickly get an update from our reporter on the ground who's tracking the developments. Nikhil, so we've just received information, breaking news about the Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann. He's arrived at Arvind Kejriwal's residence. Tell us about where you're located at this point and show us about what's going on around you in anticipation of the Chief Minister's visit to the Hanuman Temple.
So Aisha, we are currently reporting from outside the residence of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. A while back, Punjab Chief Minister and his counterpart, Bhagwant Mann, has arrived here. These are the cavalcades which are being shown in the visuals. These belongs to the Punjab Chief Minister, Bhagwant Mann, who has just gone inside. And this is the first time, as per the details, when Bhagwant Mann is meeting Delhi Chief Minister after his release from the Tihar jail. And the pictures which we are seeing currently on the screen is the residence of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. And in a short while from now, and in fact we can say that at any moment from now, all of these leaders, including Kejriwal, they are going to come out and they are going to head directly towards the Prachin Hanuman Mandir, which is near to the prominent market, Connaught Place market, where already there is positioning of Saurabh Bharadwaj, who is MLA of the Aam Aadmi Party, and along with his senior colleague from the cabinet, Delhi cabinet, Atishi. So all of the leaders are already proactively working ever since Arvind Kejriwal has been released from the jail. And after the paying obeisance at the Prachin Hanuman Mandir, he will be heading directly towards the party headquarters, which is at the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg, and just few meters away from the Bharatiya Janata Party headquarters, where he is all set to address his first press conference. And in fact, the leaders as well, the workers as well, the cadre as well of the Aam Aadmi Party, they are also expected to join in all of these programs. This is something which has been mentioned in a tweet as well, which has been put out by Arvind Kejriwal, where he has invited all the workers of the Aam Aadmi Party and the voters and the residents of the national capital as well. So this is the picture where we can show you that there is also deployment of the CM security. There is Delhi police as well. So this particular road has now been blocked by the security protocol, and it appears like the movement is going to take place in a short while from now. All the vehicles of the protocol, they have already been charged up, and it appears like at any moment from now, Arvind Kejriwal, along with his Punjab counterpart, they are going to leave for Prachin Hanuman Mandir. Back to you, Aisha.
All right, Nikhil, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us that update. Do stay with us. Now we're going to be crossing over to, as I mentioned, a very renowned journalist who joins us on the broadcast, Neerja Chowdhury. Ms. Chowdhury, one thing I wanted to ask you is, what do you think about Arvind Kejriwal getting interim bail, being allowed to campaign for the Lok Sabha elections? Because there are many asking, why not release Sisodia, Satyendra Jain, Hemant Soren for the same purpose?
The Supreme Court has spelled that out when they said it's a very extraordinary circumstances. He doesn't have any criminal antecedents. There's no charges against him, of course, no conviction. And in the middle of elections, he's put in jail where the inquiry has been going on for 2 years, and the ED hasn't come up with anything out of his investigation so far. So given all that this was in public interest is the way the Supreme Court put it. Now, the corollary of Kejriwal's release, be given interim bail, could be that Hemant Soren is also given bail for the same reason. Would Manish Sisodia also be given bail for the same reason? It remains to be seen in the coming hours what happens on the legal front. But as far as Kejriwal is concerned, getting relief at this time it charges the cadre. It gives a higher profile to the battle in Delhi, in Punjab, in Haryana, which is yet to take place. He may well go campaigning in Maharashtra, where there is also a takkar between the two sides. Maharashtra is a very interesting case. So overall, in the next 2 weeks, that's all is left. His party and the India Alliance, I'm sure, will use him to the maximum possible level, and also, you know, hope for a higher profile. You know, there is a certain appeal when you come out of jail. And therefore, the campaigning also acquires a different kind of profile. I think they will encash that. They will try and encash all that.
Absolutely. Now, Kejriwal's decision to visit the Hanuman Mandir today, in fact, that's expected in a very short while from now. That's one of the first things he's going to be doing after being released from jail. Do you think it's an attempt to push back against the BJP's allegation of the opposition always being anti-Hindu?
Yes, you know, Kejriwal, unlike other opposition parties, Kejriwal has adopted a pro-Hindu stance without coming across as anti-minority. Now, it's a fine balance, it's a tightrope walk. But if you remember in the last elections also, Hanuman almost became the icon of the Aam Aadmi Party. And Kejriwal himself had recited to the media the Hanuman Chalisa when somebody had asked him about it. And of course, they'd gone to the Hanuman Mandir and repeatedly referred to Hanuman. And today, going to the Hanuman Mandir at Connaught Place is also very, what I would call a politically correct thing. Of course, he's thanked Hanuman for his release. He's thanked the Supreme Court judges for his release. And of course, vowed to end the Tanashahi in the country.
Absolutely. Now, I want to bounce off of one thing that you were talking about just a short while ago, about how this Arvind Kejriwal coming out of Tihar jail, it's going to, of course, give a big boost when it comes to the opposition's campaign in Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, all across the country, especially when it comes to the INDIA bloc. But how do you think Kejriwal's release impacts the BJP? Do you think this dents their campaign while the Lok Sabha elections are underway?
No, I don't know whether it'll dent their campaign. They will go to town against him. They will try and change the narrative and bring the focus back to the case against him, the liquor scam that they allege the Aam Aadmi Party leaders are involved in, and they will try and certainly bring the election discourse to that, particularly in Delhi. So it's going to the whole battle for Delhi is going to hot up in the next hours and days. I don't think the BJP is going to sit back at all.
Okay, that's interesting. Yes, it might actually prove, as you said, a booster for the INDIA bloc's campaign while the Lok Sabha elections are underway. But as you just mentioned, and it's a very interesting point that you have, that this might also push the BJP to also work very hard to counter any action that's made by the opposition here. Ms. Chowdhury, do remain with us. I just want to draw our viewers' attention to the visuals on their screens right now, where we're getting visuals of the Punjab Chief Minister, Bhagwant Mann, and the Delhi Chief Minister, Arvind Kejriwal. They have left the residence, I believe. That's what we're being told. And I believe they're also on their way now to the Hanuman Temple, which is where Kejriwal's first visit to the temple is going to be taking place in a very short while from now. We'll continue to track the developments there. Right now, we're going to be crossing back over to our guest who remains with us. Ms. Chowdhury, what I wanted to ask you now is, there are multiple bail conditions that have been set out by the Supreme Court for Arvind Kejriwal. I want to read out two of them. One is that he shall not visit the office of the Chief Minister and the Delhi Secretariat. The other is that he shall be bound by the statement made on his behalf that he shall not sign official files unless it is required and necessary for obtaining clearance or approval of the LG of Delhi, who is, of course, VK Saxena. Now, my question here is, do you think this is paving the way for him to be removed from the Chief Minister's post? Previously, in a Times Network summit, in fact, the LG VK Saxena had said that the government in Delhi wouldn't be allowed to run from jail. And now we have these bail conditions.
The question you ask is the million-dollar question that hangs out there. It's all where, the next 3 weeks or 20 days till he surrenders again on June 2 are going to be, very exciting and, as I say, high contention, conflict, charges, counter charges, rhetoric, as happens during election. And with his release, the whole atmosphere is warmed up and things will hot up again, politically. But once you come to June 2, what happens after that, once he surrenders? What is the line the Supreme Court is going to take? Is the ED going to come up with charges? There was a buzz just before he was released that the ED was ready to frame charges against him. And of course, this question, will he continue as the Chief Minister of Delhi while in jail? Once the charges are framed against him, which the ED seems to be getting ready for. And if that happens, then of course, Delhi comes under president's rule or central rule, and it's a very different scenario. How does that affect the morale of Aam Aadmi Party? Much will also depend on how the Aam Aadmi Party fares in the Lok Sabha elections. If they manage, last time the BJP got 7 out of 7 Lok Sabha seats. If they manage to get half, even 2-3 of those seats this time with the Congress, then that also builds up the morale of the cadre. And so everything will depend on the arithmetic that June 4th will reveal about the future politics of both the Aam Aadmi Party as well as the India Alliance. And of course, the BJP.
Absolutely. Absolutely correctly said. Mr. Chaudhary, there are also those who tend to question the sanctity of the courts. All right, I'm sorry, Ms. Chaudhary, do stay with us. I'm getting information that we need to cross over to my colleague who's reporting from the ground. Nikhil, you tell us more about what's taking place around you. I believe there's some chaos taking place. What's happening?
Well, Arvind Kejriwal has already left for Hanuman Mandir along with his Punjab counterpart Bhagwant Mann, and also there was this presence of Sunita Kejriwal, wife of Arvind Kejriwal. So all of them have, they are going towards Hanuman Mandir, and in a short while from now we can expect that in about 15 minutes or so they are going to reach there. And this is the prominent Hanuman temple which is near to the main market of the Connaught Place. So they are going to pay obeisance here. Many of the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, they are already deployed there, including that of Saurabh Bharadwaj, who is the MLA, and there are other senior ministers of the Aam Aadmi Party as well. And then directly at about 1 p.m. he would be heading straight to the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters, where for the very first time he is going to address his press conference. And if we go by the schedule which is already out there in the public domain, at about 4 p.m. he is going to hold a road show in the South Lok Sabha constituency of the national capital, and at about 6 p.m. he is going to be present in Krishna Nagar, which is one of the assemblies in the East Delhi Lok Sabha constituency. So this is something as far as the program is all about. So the campaigning has already started ever since he stepped out of the Tihar jail. So this is something which is currently taking place. So we need to see as to how exactly Arvind Kejriwal is going to roar for the very first time when he is going to address press conference at about 1 p.m.
Nikhil, one thing I wanted to ask is when it comes to the key figures who are going to be part of the Chief Minister's campaign today after he's just been released from Tihar jail, who are the key faces we're going to be seeing? We've, of course, seen visuals already of the Punjab CM. Delhi CM, of course, is at the center of all of this. We have the ministers, Atishi, Saurabh Bharadwaj, Sunita Kejriwal, who has been campaigning in the stead of the AAP, is also going to be taking part. Who else is expected? Are we going to be seeing any other members of the INDIA bloc on the ground?
Well, the members from the India Alliance, they are not expected as of now. Had it been in the schedule, it would have already been out in the public domain, at least through the media. But there is no communication whatsoever of the presence of any of the India Alliance leader in the campaigning, at least for today. So the schedule which is out there in the media, it is already, there for as far as the today's program is concerned. So we need to see as to how exactly the campaigning process is going to take place in the days to come. Because if we talk about the capital city in the first place, there are 7 Lok Sabha constituency, and for the very first time for the Lok Sabha, Arvind Kejriwal-led Aam Aadmi Party is going to contest with the Congress Party. 3 seats out of 7 are given to the Congress Party. So we need to see if Arvind Kejriwal going to go in their constituencies in which the seats have been given to Congress or not. Because this is at a time which is happening when the state president of the Congress party, Delhi Congress unit, Arvind Kejriwal, Arvind Singh Lovely, already resigned from his post and joined Bharatiya Janata Party as well. So we need to see as to how much this act is going to give a boost to morale as well, and also to boost muscle power as well, as far as the Aam Aadmi Party and the India Alliance is concerned in the context of the Lok Sabha elections. But if we talk about the key faces in particular, Arvind Kejriwal is only the key face ever since it was announced he is going to come out, because he has also come out at a time when it was desperately needed for the Aam Aadmi Party for him to campaign, because the party was already splitting. We have seen how a senior minister of the cabinet rank, he already resigned from his post as well. So there are a couple of things which are taking place. Raghav Chadda is already not in the country, so to say. He is in UK. There are many of the leaders and the cadre base which is already missing from the Aam Aadmi Party. So Arvind Kejriwal's release has come at a time when the party needed him the most. So we need to see how much leverage this is going to give them as far as the Lok Sabha elections and the 7 Lok Sabha constituencies in the capital city is concerned.